living and society, and we are now looking at how we as accountants can interact with the society. There are so many ways, there are various career paths as an accountant that you can choose from, not necessarily a pure accountant. Okay? But you still can uphold and emphasize and exercise, implement enlightened sacrifice. Okay? So when I say accountant, doesn't mean that we do financial statements. When I say accountant, we are not just doing audit. More than that. Let's see. Right. So technically, okay, remember there was at the time, some reports or some research found that one of the careers that is going to be extinct, purpose, going to be, is going to be becoming less popular is accounting. Did you read that statement or news? What did you feel during that time? Or what, let's say if you know that there was actually a statement saying that in the future, because of all this technology like AI or not, the profession, the accounting profession is going to become less relevant. Meaning to say that for you to choose to become an accountant in the future, or for us in university to offer a Bachelor of Accounting will be lesser and lesser. So being in this industry, being an accountant, or being future accountants, how should you counter this statement to show that being an accountant is still relevant? Okay, if you ask me, number one, bring whatever technology that comes in, AI, or sophisticated software and whatnot to replace us doing financial statement and whatnot, as long as the annual report or the financial statement, you know the difference between annual report and financial statement? Annual report, for annual report to be called as an annual report, okay, it has to be audited. Otherwise, it will stay as financial statement. So for me, reason number one, as long as Bursa Malaysia, as long as KL, Bursa Malaysia, as long as Securities Commission require both of these bodies, require companies to have audited financial statements, meaning that the job of auditor will still be relevant. So don't be afraid. You finish your job, your CPA Australia, you can still be an accountant in the foreseeable future, I would say. Unless in 5 years or 10 years time, they decided to remove this requirement. Okay, no longer your financial statements will be audited. Even if they do, okay, why? Because the computer will audit it, the AI will audit it. But still, all these technologies have to have human input still, especially the professional judgment part. Okay? And here, number one is for us to tell that, okay, as long as there is such a requirement, the if the requirement is still there, we are okay. Number two, ask ourselves, we should broaden our skills. Not only that people know that we can prepare financial statements, we can audit, but tell them that we can do more. For example, have you guys been to internship yet? Not yet? Okay. If you go and join any of those, accounting firms, especially the Big Four, now they do have IT audit. You can perform audit for IT, not necessarily financial audit, but you can do IT audit. And definitely you might not be learning this in class in your degree. So go and enhance your skills. Go and take certificate. Go and learn. Once you completed your CPA, once you completed your degree, go and learn and get the certificate and improve yourself. Right? And we're going to talk about skills. We have technical skills and we have soft skills. Quick example of technical skills. Technical skills, you have a specific skills for you to apply. For example, how to prepare how to prepare balance sheet, financial statements. You require technical skill. You have to learn, okay, what to put, how much to put, where to put, what is the layout, technically done. Okay. How about soft skills? Look at that. Communication. How can you bring yourself as future accountant and telling the people or telling your future employer that you have all these soft skills? Where are you going to prove all these soft skills? When? During the interview, yeah, show them. You know what? I would say those companies, they are not looking for kiasu. They are not looking for nerdies. Yes, of course, your result, your good result is important, but it doesn't guarantee the job. And don't be surprised if you got 4 flat versus your friend who got 2.5. That person who has 2.5 CPA will get the job, not you. So prove them. You have to be balanced in these two technical skills. Maybe that person that who obtains from lab, he has all the technical skills, but he or she lacks soft skills. And some companies, they don't want. Okay. Or maybe that job doesn't suit you. So if you still want to be part of the organization, maybe you must be offered another position, because maybe that particular position requires you to communicate. You have to present your findings, you have to share your results, you have to communicate. Negotiation skills. Okay, tell me, how do you politely and nicely say to a shop attendant that you are not going to buy something from them? Okay, lagi?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. What else? I'll come back later. Okay. One more. Try to see
pergi tempat lain.
barang yang tak ada. Saya ada. Let's have something that's okay. Yeah, that's how you. I'm not saying that is. I would say that could be part of negotiation skill, but make it more professional. If your company expects you to have a good negotiation skill, because sometimes, even though you are an accountant, you might need to sell your service. Otherwise, how can you get clients? You say that you are an accountant, but to get a job is to meet a client, to get a client. How to meet client? Nego. Okay? You have your own firm, you want to get clients, so that you will do and help them and advise them accordingly. You still have that kind of negotiation skills. Persuasion. What is persuasion?
Persuade.
How do you persuade? Nego and persuade. Tujuh. Okay? Girls or boys, good in persuasion? Girls. Rasakan pengalaman. Alright. And leadership skills. Where do we learn leadership skills? Do we attend a training to be a leader? Of course, there are trainings for this, right? But to be a good leader, how? Based on your experience, based on your persona. Sometimes you don't have to be so great in your qualification, but people still respect you and treat you and accept you as a leader because of the way that you talk, the way that you communicate, the way that you interact, your persona. Right? That's how you enhance your soft skills. Okay, here we go. With whom that accountants usually deal with? We are talking about professional relationships. Okay, number one, definitely, we are, as an accountant, we are working with our employer. So professionally bound. working in Big Four, so our employer is, we are having a professional relationship with our firm. Clients, definitely another professional engagement. Employees, if you are owning your own firm, you might employ your staff. Peers, okay, and regulators. Okay, there are various, influence. There are various factors that may influence that. How should individual behave in their workplace? Some people good in moral values because he or she comes from a good, solid family. Okay, or he or she comes from a good school, maybe. Okay, but some others, they are not. Even they are coming from a good school, coming from a good family, but he or she, himself or herself, okay, fail to somehow build a strong character that would somehow make people happy to deal with him or her. Okay, laws and regulations. This is interesting. When you Malaysian drivers, when you go to Singapore and drive to Singapore, you will be auto disciplined, right? Why? Why can't you be the same, having the same level of discipline when you drive here? But Singaporean, the other way around. When they come to Malaysia, they turn off their discipline. But when we go there, we will turn on the discipline. Because of what? Because of the law. This is to highlight that laws and regulations can shape our behavior. If the law is not so strict, people tend to neglect. People tend not to follow. But what happened? Okay, tell me your opinion. 300 ringgit fine of speeding. Is it good enough? Some people make it have a collection of speed tickets because they can pay, right? So what do you think? Okay, what is the reason why the government imposes that fine of 10 ringgit? It's not to make money, it's to discipline. But still, people, some people, some group of people, they still can easily pay. So what do you think? Other than fine, how can you be a good driver?
Suspend driving license.
Suspend driver license. We have this mata ke jarak. Is it still there? I'm not sure. I also don't know what is my point now. Okay, but ideally, I'm talking about the enforcement. Okay, no matter how complicated, how good the law is, but if there is no, or if there is a weak enforcement, we're not going anywhere. Okay, the law is one thing, and it has to be accepted nationwide by everyone, not only certain people who follow it, but others do. And professional aspects. Definitely, after you complete your CPA, you will tend to have this kind of behavior. Okay, everything that I do, I must know and I must remember. I am only bringing CPA's name. I am bringing my family's name. I am bringing my company's name. No? Okay, these are among the areas that we can work in being an accountant. Okay, from this part onwards, there is a term called PAIB, Professional Accountant in Business. Okay, for your information, public practice, it doesn't mean that we are working with the government. Okay, in CPA term, public practice means what? We are working in accounting firm. We call it public practice. Okay, if we refer to Malaysian term in general when we say public, means you are working with the government, right? According to CPE term, public practice means we are working as public practitioner. Okay, in firms, in purely accounting firms. Okay, the next group is as a private, and this is what we call it PAIB. PAIB is here. Okay, example of this is if you are working as an accountant in a commercial company. Say for example, if you are working as an accountant in Samcom, working as an accountant in Petronas. Can you see the difference between the first one and the second one? You still can be an accountant, but in two different sectors. One is public, means accounting firm, pure accounting firm. And second one is other than accounting firm. Like myself, CPA lecturer. Where do I park myself in? Here. Second one.
Private.
Yeah, private sector. Okay. Okay, the third one. Look, public sector and public practice. This is the thing. Okay, we call it public sector is the government. You can work in the Ministry of Finance. Okay, the Accountants General Department. Any local municipal council, any state government, and you are under public sector accounting. In fact, there is a subject called public sector accounting. You know,
Yes.
right? If you're keen to work with the government, this might be the career path for you, working in government. Public sector. Okay. Number 4, you can be a financial advisor. Okay, you can. In this case, I am thinking of working in the bank. Financial advice. Or you are working in foundation, working in, say for example, yayasan. Yayasan Peneraju. Yes, you can work with Yayasan Peneraju and you are under financial advice.
Hazana juga?
Hazana would be private. Private.
Yes, sampai Raja would be
Hazana is like TM.
Non-for-profit.
It's like TM. It's a government link.
Itu yang satu.
Yes.
Yang saya cakap tadi.
And not for profit.
Private.
You sometimes some people they may consider foundation yayasan
Non-for-profit
under not for
sector
profit.
tu macam rumah anak yatim kan.
Okay.
Sulit.
Okay, these are the areas. Okay, public practice. What we do in public practice. Okay, these are among the areas. Definitely, and of course, not limited to only in this list. Okay, as I said earlier, you can be in IT audit as well, advisory. Okay, and so as meaning to say, as long as you are in, say PwC, no matter what job scope that you are holding, you are still being part of public practice. Okay, meaning to say, we are not looking at the job that you do, we are looking at where are you in. You know what I mean? Looking at where are you rather than looking at what are you doing. Okay? When will you be going for your internship?
After CPE.
After completing CPE?
Yes. Nampak. Kalau tak kelas.
If I don't say you, if the student not pass.
Wait until pass.
Wait until pass. Okay, that's a challenge. I hope everyone can pass everything with
Orang lain
one
tunggu
go.
dah kami ada anak.
Yes. Alright, public practice. These are the specific items that we do. Okay, any part of this that you may not be familiar with so far? I'm sure you have learned. Do you have any? Do you have internal audit? Something like that? Correct. Just to share with you, my research, my PhD thesis is on internal audit. Right? So I studied the internal audit cost and what is the effect of internal audit cost with the external audit cost. Meaning to say, if the company spends more on internal audit, will they spend more or less for external audit?
Less.
Surprising, yeah. Technically, yes. Statistically, yes.
Sebab dia betul.
Yes. Okay. And I also studied the internal audit arrangement. You know, internal audit can be outsourced.
Ya.
Right? Say for example, in TM has its own group internal audit. That means they employ their own staff to be the internal auditors. But usually for medium firms, okay, they would prefer to outsource. Okay, and for your information, before 2009, the company can choose the same incumbent auditor. Meaning to say, if you choose PwC for the external auditor, you can outsource your internal auditor to PwC too. Before 2009, but after 2009 cannot. Even though you claim, or even though they claim, oh, it's okay, external audit PwC KL, internal audit PwC JB, for example, cannot. After 2009, if you choose external auditor one firm, you cannot choose the same firm for internal. Okay, that is how you link it. Okay, look at the second group, PAIB. What are the roles that you can play if you are working in the private sector? Okay, if you remember we talked about the escalation of your career path. Which attribute was that just now? Pursuit of excellence. That one is under service idea, right? Attribute number 3, pursuit of excellence. Remember, you want to escalate your career to be the highest as you wish. So if you want to be the CFO, you can join PAIB.
Sabrina, CFO Sabrina. Betul lah. Menteri Kewangan. Ingat lagi siapa cakap?
And you have to have all these kind of items or activities that you may think you can apply when you are working with. Which means to say again, working in PIB requires more professional judgment. Not to say that when you're working in public practice you don't, but I assume this is because it depends on the nature of the company that you're in, and different company may impose or may require different kind of arrangements. Okay, accounting and SMEs still under PIB. Okay. And here we are working as an accountant in public sector. Okay, for your information, just to share with you, National Accounting Department, Jabatan Accountant Negara, the office is in Sago-Jaya. We are glad to see that National Accounting Department of Malaysia, they encourage their staff to take CP. So, in other words, it opens an opportunity for you guys, CPE Australia, to consider working in National Accounting Department, Jabatan Accounting Department in the future. If you are willing, if you are thinking of working in public sector. Do you know what are the perks working in the government, working with the government?
Yes.
What?
Loan rendah.
Easy to get loan.
Interest rendah.
At the age of myself now, I think I truly appreciate if during my retirement I have a pension. You know, maybe it might be too early for you to think of your pension when you started working, but you know how valuable it is, especially when you look at your parents, you know, when they retire and they just rely on whatever that they have during that moment. Some people, they have a luxury amount of EPF, but it depends on the way that you manage your EPF, you know, your provident fund. But some people, they don't have, especially if they do business. They may put some money to EPF, but may not be enough. So that's where, and that is the reason why some of our parents, they have to work even they have retired. So ask yourself, if you want to retire peacefully, you have to ensure that during your retirement you have source of income. So one of the ways for you to ensure that some people they prefer, that's why some people prefer to work with the government, Malaysian government. They offer pension, no pension.
Yeah, subscribe.
It looks small. Let's say our parents, you know, they retired at 60. The number of amount given to, the amount of pension given to our parent depends on the number of years of service. Let's say our parents just receive less than 1,000, maybe 700 or 800. I would say every single ringgit counts. Rather than when you at 60, no one is paying you, and your saving is none. Okay, I'm reminding myself. So I have to, since I don't have pension because I'm working in PIB as well. So if you are thinking of working in PAIB like me, make sure your EPF is sufficient. Okay, and that's why I understand. And some people, they keep on blaming the government. Why don't they allow for withdrawal, for another withdrawal, right? During the COVID, they already allowed some withdrawals, and then they want more. I think that in this case, I should agree to the government. They have to be strict because imagine during your retirement, you got lesser chance to get a job. Better to survive and sacrifice now. You can still work now rather than sacrificing. Provided you have a long umur panjang. You live longer. Okay.
Kalau macam kerja kau mungkin dapat pension tu kan. Tapi macam akan dapat
piece of
EPF
advice,
juga
I'm talking to myself. So I always make sure that my retirement fund is okay. Why do I do so far? Because I'm talking about public sector. One of the perks, if you ask me, one of the best perks of working in government is pension. Other than that, easy to get loan, discounts, travelling, hospital, right? So many allowances. Okay, even though their basic is no bad, we're having so many allowances. Sometimes they earn more than us. Okay, so it's your choice. Keep your option open. You can work in the government. Okay. I have one, not my student, one of our students from Maldives. The student went back and now he is the Ministry of Finance of the country.
Wow.
So that's how, you know, how that far that you can be. Okay, NFP, you can be the accountant or the person in charge. Still, we call as an accountant for not-for-profit organization. Okay, you can be in the banking industry if you want. Okay, and I think I will stop here. We will continue doing this part onwards in the afternoon session. Is it okay? Are you guys still having the energy to be in mind? Go and recharge. Go and recharge. We'll be back at 2. Okay?
Alright, sir.